All right, guys, here are some essential mixing techniques for vocal tracks that always work. Hello and welcome to busyworksbeats.com. Smash the like button so I could extend that S. I'm going to show you guys how to mix vocals into a modern type of sound, and this is the stuff that always works. Let's start off with the Streaky technique. If you don't know Streaky, he makes awesome mixing and mastering tutorials on YouTube, and he makes shorts as well. Go subscribe to him. So this one's from him specifically. So firstly, we have to find our lead vocal. And we have two takes. We have a lead vocal and a backing vocal. So here we're going to turn these up so that we can hear them from the mix. We're going to go to our mixer and simply just turn up the fader. Now we don't want to pan left and right because what that will do is get rid of the center image. Most people will just pan this left and right to make it wide. But now we're missing that middle performance. Okay, so that's usually why I record in threes. If I am going to do that technique, I'll do left, center, right. But in this case, we just have a backing vocal that just is enhancing the performance. So let's just turn it down. We don't need to add plugins. We just need to turn it down so that we hear the main take. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Now we could group these two together, but we're not going to in this case. Nextly, we're going to pull up some kind of auto tune. My auto tune doesn't work on this Mac, but I would definitely prefer auto tune over Waves Tune real time. But it just doesn't work on my computer right now, so we have to do what we have to do. Anyway, let's go to the channel rack. Let's pull up a plugin called where's it at here? Scalar 2. Now in Pro Tools, they don't give you, like, from what I understand, a quick way to find the key and like add all these notes in. So I use Scalar as my quick finding the key. Okay, so I'm going to go to grand piano. We're just going to play notes that go with the song in the background. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. See, that C doesn't sound right. It goes dun, dun, dun. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Okay, so this is the key, A major or F sharp minor. Now, major would be happier, minor is sadder. So let's go with the sadder option in that case, F sharp minor. Why is that important? We need to go to scale here. We need to switch it to a natural minor scale. And we're going to go to sharp and then F. So now this Waves tune will lock into that specific scale. And it changes the way auto tune works to where now we're going to target the notes in the scale, which makes it a little more melodic. Let's lower the note transition to create that like robotic sound. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. I'm going to make it more modern, meaning like more heavily auto-tuned. I don't want to do like the Melodyne approach, which is more acoustic. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. And we could pull back on the note transition just to make it less like snappy and robotic. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. But now it has that an angel in disguise is what you are. And then it like bends properly like we're used to hearing. Once we have the pitch correction down, here's where I start doing corrective stuff. Now in my advanced training, I'll go through all like the step-by-steps. In short, visually speaking, look at this like spike in the audio. That will confuse the compressor. So basically we need to go through. Now FL's not the greatest for this, so I'm being honest with you guys. Pro Tools is way better for this. But in FL, you're going to have to grab your slice tool, hit Shift Alt, do a vertical slice before and then a vertical slice after. And then you have to do what's called crossfading. And this is why I said Pro Tools is way better, because in FL, the crossfading is not very good. All right, so what you have to do though is hit Alt and then drag the sample over each other so that it creates a crossfade. And I believe that's a setting too. So if that doesn't work for you, I think it's a setting in the playlist options or one of the option settings. I don't remember exactly where it is. Okay, so now we have crossfades. Okay, now this way is way too energetic. It's like, way. Okay, so let's turn it down because that is too dramatic for this performance. We want that peak to match about the peak that was before. So let's pull this down to about there. Now, you know, there are literally mixing assistants that will go in and do this per big thing. Like right here, they'll go in, chop it, and they'll do this before the mixing engineer even touches the record. They'll go in and they'll fix stuff like this. So it is a whole job for somebody to do that. Do I want to do it for 30 minutes right now? No. So I'm going to save you time and show you a couple things you could do. But that's the time consuming stuff. Okay. Now FL Studio's new clip game makes it easier. We're just going to pull that down. So now it's not so aggressive. You are to me. And that will help the compressor not like struggle. You are to me. Okay, so you want to go through and do even this little peak right here. You are to me. Okay, so once you do that, that is an essential step because the compressors will overly work if you don't do that step. All right, so now that we have auto tune and we have the volume controlled, let's get into the actual mixing. Okay, so here I like to focus on corrective moves, but let's first get into Streaky's technique, which is the 1176 Rev A. So you guys can use the UAD version. That's the one he was using. We're going to use this. We're going to turn up the input so that it compresses the signal. Basically, a faster attack, faster release gives the sound more harmonic content. Okay, it's not about transients as much. It's about harmonic content most of the time. Okay, so the attack to the right is fast. Numbers on the left are slow on this compressor. Okay, so we want a fast release, which is going to add that harmonic content, and our attack's going to be pretty slow around 3. And we're just going to push the input until it starts latching onto the vocal. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. So we're adding saturation to the sound through this compressor. An angel in disguise is... Now let's just lower the output to compensate for how much volume. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Let's do it before and after. Here's before. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. And if you guys hear that click, that's because these crossfades aren't perfectly crossfaded. That's why I said FL Studio is not the greatest when it comes to crossfades. I just got to be honest with you guys. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Okay, so let's do it before and then after. Well, here's before. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. So, angel in disguise is what you are to me. It does that. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. That volume increase. Now here's after. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. So that 1176 really just makes it not go, an angel in disguise is what you ought to be. Instead of doing all that, it's like, an angel in disguise is what you ought to be. It doesn't keep moving around, which is important for modern sound. Now the next plugin, I know it took a while to get here, but I wanted to explain all the steps before it that most people don't talk about. Now I think Streaky uses L2 from FabFilter. We're going to turn the look ahead up so that it can read the values quicker. And then, oops. And then we're going to pull up the gain here. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. And now it's really sitting that vocal on top of the track. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Now this vocal still needs corrective work because it's a little too piercing at certain frequencies. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. But for a 2 plugin chain that works on most vocals, that's pretty strong. So I want to thank you to Streaky for showing me that plugin chain because it simplifies vocal mixing. Okay, so let's show you a couple more tricks with vocals. I wanted to open up Pro Tools, but most people don't have Pro Tools, so I was like, forget that. Nextly, we're going to look at multi-band compression. I'm going to use the FabFilter MB because this is what I would naturally use. And here we're looking for areas where there's too much buildup. That plugin might not give you the greatest point of view. So let's open up the FabFilter Pro Q3. I'm going to show you guys a secret setting here that nobody really talks about. If you click here where it says Analyzer, we're going to click on this little collision mode. And what this will do is show where energy builds up too much in the vocal. It will show up as red. An angel in disguise is what you... Now you can find all your problem areas in your vocal. An angel in disguise. So I'm just going to double click to add a point to wherever the red shows up. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. And now I'm just going to go through and cut it at least 3 dB per thing and then make it a high Q so it's not affecting all the frequencies. We just wanted to cut what we were shown. We can make this dynamic. We can make it, I'm just going to make hard cuts. We don't have to make it dynamic in this case because I want these frequencies completely pushed to the background. So let's double click. Let's make it -3. Anytime I'm doing corrective EQ, I'll work in increments of 3, or additive EQ, I'll work in increments of 3. So if you guys ever struggle with like how much dB to take out, just work in increments of 3 because that will usually answer your question. Okay, so let's subtract 3. So now let's ask, do those harsh buildups happen anymore? An angel in disguise is what you are. Let's turn on our compressor. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is... Let's do it before and after the EQ. Here's before. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Let's do after. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Now those like frequencies that were like really aggressive on our ear are smooth. Okay, so that's why we use that function. Now you could also use the Pro MB. This is more so to keep stuff more tamed, in my opinion. But the Q3 handles most of that. Now, what I would normally do at this point is add a de-esser. I'm going to do that last in this case, at least before the, where we at here? Fab filter de-ess. So I love fab filter stuff. It just is perfect. Let's use the vocal. Now you guys want to turn down your volume warning, because here's the frequency we're going to attack. Move this around. So there's a lot of energy building up in two spots. We have spots somewhere around 7 to 15K. And then let's create another de-esser that focuses only on that other zone, which was around like 3K. Now, normally you could do this with an EQ. I'm just going to do it with this plugin. So I have two de-essers, not one, two de-essers. The reason I'm using two is because I don't want to affect the entire frequency range from 2K to 15K. I just want to affect those specific zones. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Without those de-essers, let's hear how harsh the vocal is. An angel in disguise is what you... Let's take off the EQ too. So here's before. Let's just do it before. Here's before. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Okay, very kind of tinny sounding. Here's after, and here's before EQ. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Okay, still kind of harsh edges, and then let's add that EQ to tone down those harsh frequencies, and then let's add the de-esser to smooth out the top end. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Nextly, let's turn off the chain. Let's do it before and after. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Let's turn it back on. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. And for that final motion, some people add what's called an upward compressor to get rid of that like final kind of motion that's happening, because there's still a little motion in there. Waves MV2 is good for this. I don't use it too much in my mixes though, but most people use this one for upward compression. Isotope has one in their limiter as well, but basically use the low level mode and then turn it up. I think Inflator does this too, if I'm not mistaken. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are. And what this plugin is doing is getting rid of like the movement that was still kind of there. Like, an angel in disguise is what you are to me. And it would kind of fall off. Now it's like a straight line. An angel in disguise is... It doesn't have that like fall off volume anymore. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in... Let's do it before and after MV2. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you... Listen to... What to listen to is like when he takes breaths. An angel in disguise. Like every time he backs off from the words, listen to that part. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise. And let's... So it's like an angel in that was the part, and then at the end. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. And now let's hear it with the MV2. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. So it got rid of that little gap around the an angel in disguise. It was like an angel in disguise, like that. So now it's like an angel in disguise. Now it's like linear. An angel in disguise is what you are. And we can sit here and go back and do more corrective work. Depends on the entire mix and the masking that we get and all that. But for now, that's what I would normally do. And that usually works to get the vocal sitting there. Everything else is created from this point, like delays, reverbs, chorus, and all that type of stuff. That's after this point. I want to thank Streaky for his mastering tutorials and mixing. Go subscribe to Streaky. And then shout out to Crispy Akiyama. He has some dope content for you guys. And it will show you vocal mixing and different mixing content. Crispy Akiyama. You guys will see him soon. Peace out, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.